Okay, in this video, we are doing subjective portion of your model paper. The first question here is a student collected two samples A and B of hard water from different areas of the city. Sample A on boiling gives white precipitate, while sample B doesn't give white precipitate. Identify A and B by chemical reaction. So one thing for sure, we know that both of these samples are of hard water samples. So now we distinguish between permanent hardness and temporary hardness. So one which is giving us um, precipitate on boiling, that means it's a temporary hard water, and the other one which is not giving the right precipitate, that is considered as permanent hard water. And how we differentiate it, because we have calcium bicarbonate or magnesium bicarbonate in the system. If then at boiling it converts into precipitate because it converts into carbonate form. Carbon dioxide will be released and it converted into carbonates form, either calcium carbonate or magnesium carbonate. But in case we have chlorides, more chloride ions, more halogen ions, then in particular case we have no precipitate, but still your water is hard, so that is considered as permanent hardness. Next question is, we have an acid here, and that is H3PO4, and we know when it ionizes it gives 3 hydrogen ion, and then we have phosphate ion. So it is reacting with potassium hydroxide. In each step the potassium replaced one hydrogen and take its place, and in three steps it remove all three hydrogens from this phosphate from the phosphate radical, and it converts into K3PO4. Now because it happens in three stages, so we three different things will be formed. In first step, one hydrogen removed and potassium add. Second, two hydrogen removed and two potassium there, and then all three hydrogen removed and the potassium is there. Up till the point the hydrogen is present in the system, obviously it behaves as an acidic system. So KH2PO4, K2HPO4 will be acidic in nature, and when all three hydrogens removed, it converts into neutral system. So that is how you write it. You may write it in the form of equations. You write it, for example, if we have one potassium hydroxide is giving there that only one is removed. If we are providing two potassium hydroxide in the system, obviously two hydrogen will be removed from the phosphate and the potassium replace it. And then if we have three potassium hydroxide, then it will remove the all three hydrogens. So this is how it converts. The next question here is, you have to propose the steps involved in the extraction of copper metal by reaction. So copper metal is removed from the system. We have sulfate, we have copper sulfide over here. So what we need to do, we oxidize it. When it oxidizes, it converts into cuprous oxide, and sulfur dioxide will be generated here. And then the cuprous oxide again react with the your oxide of your copper, and now in that case sulfur dioxide will be removed and copper will be there. And here we have now copper in our solution. Then we need to extract it with the help of your electrolysis method or electrolytic refining method. So we put the anode of copper and it converts Cu converted into Cu plus 2, and two electrons will be released, which will be entered in the system through cathode, picked by the copper in the system in the solution. It absorbed two electron, converted into copper and get deposited. So this is how we purify our copper through acidified copper sulfate solution. Then we have the next question, write down 5 properties of organic compounds. We all know that organic compounds are hydrocarbons, which are made up of carbon and hydrogen. The other uh, different atoms are there, which is sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, halogens. Organic compounds are always low boiling point material, and low boiling and low melting point, because they are volatile in nature, and because their bonding is not that much stronger. They have covalent bond, right? They always have covalent bond, and they always dissolve in organic solvents, because we know like dissolves alike, and polar is a water is a polar solvent, so it dissolves in generally in your organic solvents. Then there is a question, you have to enlist the disease. caused by the deficiency of vitamin A and D. So here 4 marks are there, two for each. So vitamin A deficiency, what it causes light night blindness, skin problems are there, dryness, itching, scaling, it all happens. And if vitamin D is not present, then your bones become weak, and it is a situation which is generated, which is called as rickets, and twisted bones, bent bones, or your bones are not properly shaped and strengthened, and especially it happen near the joints. And teeth are also considered as bones, so the decay happens sometimes. um, and then we have the next question. It lists the name of layer of atmosphere. Explain two layers which are nearest to the Earth. So we have troposphere, strato, meso, thermo, ionosphere. And we just need to explain two which are near to Earth. So troposphere is nearest to Earth, and then the next is stratosphere. And troposphere starts from the Earth's level, and it's above 12 kilometer. And here in this layer we live, and weather happens there. And as we move upward, the temperature decreases. And almost if you are moving up kilometer above from your surface level, then it becomes 6.5 degree cooler. So that's how it works. And then you have stratosphere layer, which is very well known because of the ozone layer presence, which saves you from the ultraviolet radiations, which are not good for you. And its temperature varies. Its temperature increases in your stratosphere because ozone is there, it is absorbing all the radiations. And this is done with your subjective portion of second model paper.